Jacob, thank you so much for coming on today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very, very good. Thank you for asking. Um, Jacob, we're going to kick it off and get to know you as a person first. What do you do kind of outside of trading? Is trading your full-time job? Do you have a day job on the side?
Yeah, trading is my full-time job. I just graduated college and moved to New York, so I'm trading here full time. And as a side hobby, I like to play a lot of competitive poker
Oh,
in
wow.
New York City and when I was in college.
Very nice. Do you find that's really interesting, actually? Do you find that being a trader helps you on the poker side or vice versa?
I do, yeah. I think they're actually a lot more correlated than people will think. I think there's a lot of luck that can be involved in both, and I think it's really important that you manage your emotions when things aren't going your way, either on the charts or at the poker table.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can imagine. But that's really interesting because normally people associate, obviously poker as more gambling, but there is actual strategy, involved to it, and the same with trading as well. I mean, you can go down the gambling route, of course, but if you play it right, there's definitely an edge that can play out and make you a lot of money, which you clearly have done. So that's fantastic. And you're straight out of college, which
Yep.
normally we see traders. It takes them years to kind of get good at trading, not necessarily because of a strategy, but more due to the emotional and psychological side of it. So it's phenomenal that you're
hmm
doing so well at such a young age as well. So Jacob, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that you're eligible, sorry, right now for a payout. Um, is it possible you could pull up your screen and actually take that payout live on this interview?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to.
Amazing. Thank you.
You can see it.
Okay, yes. So awesome. $20,000 payout.
All
Oh,
right.
there we
Success.
go. Incredible.
Perfect.
That's amazing. And yeah, it'll get processed, and then within an hour, land in your account.
hmm
When did you roughly get into trading?
I first heard about it on YouTube when I was probably 15 years old, so 5 years ago.
Nice.
And I watched a lot of educational content. Um, was mostly trading demo at that time since I couldn't open a real brokerage. When I turned 18, I went to college to study quantitative finance. So that was really when I got into live trading. So I opened my own brokerage account, and then recently this year, just turned 20, and I figured out about prop firms. So I really was interested in that opportunity to amplify my capital.
Mm,
So I took what I learned from college and I started to apply it to prop firm trading.
that's incredible. I mean, you sound highly qualified for this for this industry. Even what you studied at college,
hmm
and you strike me as someone who's very disciplined. Just from the few minutes that we've been talking so far, you strike me as a very disciplined person. Is that something you kind of learnt, or is it something you're quite naturally good at? Would you
Uh,
say?
I think everyone has some natural ability to be disciplined and to be non-emotional when they're trading, but I think what really helped me was studying trading
Mm,
because I'm not really tied to the outcomes that come on the chart. The only thing that I'm tied to, like emotionally invested in, is my entry and my exit. So I know that as long as I'm doing the best possible entry, not interfering with the trade, waiting for it to play out, and then choosing my best possible exit, then I know that I did the best possible strategy that I could have done. And if I lose, then that's fine. I'm just waiting for the next opportunity.
that's fantastic. And you mentioned you started by, discovered it on YouTube. Did you kind of your strategy and how you trade, was it something you kind of developed on your own, or was it something you saw on YouTube, you kind of implemented and just stuck with it?
My strategy is something I've mostly developed on my own. It's about a few concepts I learned while studying quantitative finance.
Mm.
more broader concepts about how the market moves and why the market moves. So I've tried to create my own strategies based on some theories that I have about market dynamics.
Fantastic. Jacob, I would be really interested to kind of have a look at how you trade. Is it possible you could pull up your charts and kind of show the viewers
Yeah,
what you would look for on a day-to-day kind of basis?
yeah, sure. All right, you can see it.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So there's two different types of trades that I'll be looking for on a daily basis. There's short-term trades and there's long-term trades.
Hmm.
Now, that's based on a few different things. The first of them is news. So news events, like they're notated here by Project X, news events are my long-term strategy. So I'll wait for news events to happen, and then I'll play into inefficiencies in the markets that I believe are caused by these news events. So news events will be either bullish or bearish for the market. You don't really
Sure.
know until the news event comes out, and then you'll see a clear trend in the market
Hmm.
of how the news has played out. And then I will trade back into those inefficiencies created by moves from the news events, or I'll trade on continuations of these news events. And then in terms of a shorter strategy, I'll also look for those same type of inefficiencies, but I'll be looking for them on the 1 second chart.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So the 1 second chart isn't yeah, it's not really something used by most traders, but every single candlestick, if you're on the 5 minute, 1 minute, 2 minute, it can all be broken up into smaller candlesticks until you're in the 1 second time frame. So this is like the pure form of the chart that I've been able to be trading with. And you can see all these inefficiencies here. There's like gaps in the market where price hasn't been trading, or there'll be a big red candle or a big streak of candles where price has just dumped over like 5 seconds. It hasn't had a single upward motion. So I'll be looking to trade either continuations of the trend downwards or reversals back up into some of the inefficiencies.
Yeah, that's incredible. Um, I've I'm kind of blown away. I love the whole, waiting for a news event to come out and trade, as you said, trading the inefficiencies. Can you kind of circle back to that and kind of break it down in more layman terms? What kind of inefficiencies are you looking for? Are you looking
Sure.
for kind of price to get back into the area of where the news originally started, and then kind of figuring out whether it will, break through, reject off that area? What exactly are we talking here?
Yeah. So there's a few different opportunities to trade within news. Obviously, the first one I said was the continuation of the news event.
Hmm.
So that would be news event comes out as bearish for the market, a few big red candles come in, and then what I would do is I would be looking at Forex Factory, which is a very useful platform for looking at news releases and getting the fastest data possible.
Hmm.
And based on that data, I will either come to the conclusion that this news event wasn't really that impactful for the market, so I'm not sure why it dropped off that much. And I'll be looking for it to retest back into what I call the data highs, which would be the highs before a data event. Or I'll be under the opinion that well, that news was very impactful. I'm not sure why it didn't drop as much.
Mm.
And then at that point, I'll be looking for continuation. So it's mostly instead of gambling on news, is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? I wait until the news is actually out and I look at the numbers of the news, and then I try to create my own opinion on if that should be good or bad for a continuation or a reversal of the market.
Gotcha. That's really interesting. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but since news is, there's not everyday news coming out. Um, are
Hmm.
there days where you just do not trade then? Or say it's a very slow
Yeah,
news week.
it's mostly
What
based
do you
on
do?
yeah, yeah, especially with the government being shut down in the USA for the past almost 50 days now. There hasn't been a lot of news. So mostly what I've been doing on my trading accounts has been looking for those 1 second inefficiencies, mostly around market open since it's one of the most volatile times.
Mm,
So if there's no news, then I will be waiting for market open just to trade off some inefficiencies during the market open.
gotcha. And how do you spot the 1 second inefficiencies? Because most traders will look at the 1 second chart and say it's
Yeah,
just chaos. You can't trade it. Clearly, you figured out a way you
right.
can trade it. Can you walk us through a little bit,
Yeah,
you know, how you do it essentially?
sure, sure. So on the 1 second time frame, most important things I'm looking for are massive candles, like this red one here, and I'm
Sure.
looking for big gaps. Most of the gaps occur after hours, like this is a pretty big gap here. So if I'm, it's almost 2 points of a gap, like price did not trade at this point.
Hmm.
And then this one as well. Here it's almost a 9 point red candle that happened instantly.
Hmm.
So it's those big jumps you see on your chart, like while you're trading the 1 minute time frame, you'll see these big jumps and you're not really sure what caused them. So I think most of the time it's big institutions or hedge funds that are buying and selling large amounts of contracts at the same time. And that creates sort of what I believe to be an invalid price in the market because one contributor has caused the market from almost basically no volatility here to climb from 771 all the way up to 787.
Yeah.
So a lot of movement, all caused likely, in my opinion, by one contributor to the market, doesn't reflect the fair market price. So at that point, I'd be waiting for an entry into a retest into this value
Hmm.
to trade in this fair market price.
Gotcha.
So I'll kind of just be monitoring the charts. And I think most of it happens around New York Open since there's a lot of hedge funds and big institutional players that are trading at Open.
That's amazing. Fantastic stuff. And do you only use the candles? Do you look for any other kind of charting, like the footprint, for example, or use any of the depth of market or any of the actual order flow data, or are you just candle based?
I do, yes. I have on my other monitor on my PC, I have volume data and I have the depth of market data. So
Amazing.
I'm not really using them for my entries, but they do help with my exits in terms of market like direction if there's a specific point we're looking to break or not break.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob, I'm blown away. It's such a it's so different to most strategies that you see out there. I've done interviews with many, many
Hmm.
traders, and not to take anything away from them because they're all very good traders. Um, but a lot of the strategies are very simple. Things that we've all kind of heard before. And then here you rock up with the 1 second chart, looking at the market from a completely different lens, and it's just beautiful to see it play out. And you've done so well in terms of percentages. You've blown it out the water. I mean, the sheer fact you're taking a 20% payout on your account
Hmm.
is phenomenal. So yeah, Jacob, your strategy is truly mind blowing. As I mentioned earlier, so many strategies that we see, they're things that people have that are out there, on YouTube, the same kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that they can't be profitable because they absolutely can. It's more to do with psychology than anything else. Since it's a very technical way of looking at the market, the way you trade, do you find that kind of gives you more confidence in your trades because it's not based on kind of luck almost, but it's very hard to explain what I'm trying to get across here. I'm sure you kind of understand, but because it's very technical, you're
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
at essentially, order flow from the 1 second chart. You're seeing institutions enter. Does that give you more confidence to kind of, okay, this trade is going to play out, and therefore I can put a bit more size onto my trade, for example?
It does, yeah. I think I've definitely taken a lot of data over the past few months and almost year of trading different strategies. I find that this is one of the easiest strategy, I guess, to be very disciplined with because the entries they're pretty clear, at least to me, now that I've been trading for so long. And based on my entry and based on my exit, I'll know that I took the best entry I did, and I'll set my take profit for the price that I'm waiting for the market to go back to. And then essentially I'll shut the computer or I'll close the tab and I won't look at it anymore because there's nothing at that point that I can do. The only thing I could do is extra leverage, add on to my position, close it
Mm.
early, and none of those aligned with my trading plan. None of those aligned with how I've been back testing the strategy. So I think that's the most important thing to do, especially when you're trading large amounts of money.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. When you're trading, do you still struggle in any way when it comes to like FOMO or especially on the 1 second chart? It moves so quickly. I guess are you kind of eyeing the charts quite intensely to make sure you're not missing any potential opportunity, or is it a type of thing where you see opportunity quite often appear, and it's not that bad if you miss a trade?
Yeah, I think opportunity does happen quite often with this strategy, but the most important thing to do is not to overtrade this strategy.
Mm,
I just am usually in for 1 to 2 trades per day. I'm usually looking at around market open, but obviously, if I was to come back to my computer at 2 hours after open, the market's still moving pretty fast. There could be some big players there and big moves. I probably would be able to find moves, but one of the things that I've done to help myself personally with this, because originally when I started trading, I was looking at the charts all day. I was paper trading all day. So what I did was I split up the day into different quartiles or quarters. There was the open, there was the period of downtime between open and between afternoon session, and then the period between afternoon session and close in the afternoon session. And what I did was I took trading data based on my performance in those different windows,
mm,
and I found that my trading performance was best during market open. So I just decided to only trade during the market open because that was obviously when I did best. And then I just knew that if I was to finish trading then I wouldn't have to worry about looking for another entry, trying to win my losses back or anything like that. Just wait for the next day.
amazing. That's amazing. I love how you track your performance different, every variable you're tracking, and figuring out which one gives you the best statistical edge of making, or being the most profitable, and then you're actually implementing it. Because there's so many traders out there, they don't track any of their trades. They're not gathering any data, and then they have kind of almost a bias where something will work once and they'll be like, oh, look, it works. Or maybe it works 2 times in a row and they're all in on it now. But they're not actually looking at the statistics. And a
Yeah.
lot of time, if you were to look at it, it's pretty much 50-50 and it's complete random chance. So, but, once you
Yep.
have that data, you can actually implement it. And you can say, okay, I'm clearly, this works better just after New York Open or whatever it might be. And I love that you're actually using that data um, to better your strategy, which is absolutely the right way to do it. And I think that comes back to just the sheer fact of what you studied at college. You're made for this. This is the perfect industry for you. Jacob, hang on really quick. I'm just seeing from our team. Wait. Yes. Okay. So can you check your inbox right now? I've been told you've just been paid live, and it happened within 20 minutes.
Perfect.
How's it feel? I have to ask, how's it feel taking a payout of $20,000? I mean, most traders can only dream of something like that. How's this moment feel
Yeah.
for you?
It's really exciting just to see the hard work that I've been putting in, all the research and all the money that was spent to go to college. It's finally paying off. So definitely glad to see results like that. Hopefully, I can keep it up in the future.
I have no doubt you will. And that 20,000, over how long of a period have you built that up?
I think I've made a total of $48,000 in this single account because I've been withdrawing, and this has been probably about 2 months of consistent trading.
Wow. So within 2 months, you've basically done 50%. So 25%, just under 25, but let's call it 25% a month. That's mind blowing, Jacob. That's really,
Mm,
really good stuff. Yeah, 100%. Get yourself more accounts. With the copy trading, that could be a $40,000 payout, and
yep.
I mean, you can have even more accounts. Why stop at two, right? So yeah, incredible stuff. Do you see yourself ever branching out of trading, or is trading, for you the future?
Yeah. I think for the foreseeable future, I'm going to continue trading, and until I build up my own brokerage account large enough to trade on my own, I'll keep trading with prop firms. But I think sometime in the future, I will branch out from trading. I'm going to hopefully start my own business in the trading industry, or continue to trade a personal live account as well, if that keeps going well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. look, you're 20 years old and you're doing better than the majority of traders I know. So you have a very bright future ahead of you. I can't imagine where you'd be in a decade. And, getting into this industry, having the ambition to, start your own business within the trading industry, whatever it might be, I have no doubt you'll be very successful, because just your portfolio alone, by the time, once you build up 5, 10 years of data on your portfolio, every investor is going to be knocking at your door wanting wanting a slice of your action. So, yeah, keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing, because you've got a very, very bright future ahead of you. I'm certainly looking forward to where you'd be in just a few years' time. I can imagine you're going to be one of the best performers, at least within Hola Prime. And I'm sure if you trade with other prop firms, you're probably going to be one of the best within their company as well. But moving on to chat a little bit about Hola Prime. Like I said, you've done so incredibly well so far. How has your experience so far been with Hola Prime?
I mean, it's perfect in terms of what you need from a prop firm. There's fast responses, fast payouts. They're willing to accommodate you. So you shouldn't be worried about who you're trading with in terms of a firm if you're a trader. All you should be worried about is the charts and your strategy.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend Hola Prime in that sense of there's nothing extra you have to worry about. You just focus on your strategy. You take your payouts when you're ready, and they'll make sure everything is right on their side.
Absolutely. Amazing. And in terms of payouts, obviously we pride ourselves on the speed of the payouts. I know you've taken quite a few, but how have they been on average? How fast was it? How
I
did
think
we live up to our
I'm
promises?
pretty sure. Yeah, yeah. I think I've taken 7 or 8 payouts now, up to $5,000 each, and I think six of them were paid within 30 minutes, and then the last one just took 12 hours. It was waiting to the next morning, just because there was some sort of technical error. But 6 payouts, all paid within 30 minutes. I don't have to wait 3 days worrying about, am I going to get this rejected? Is my account going to be restricted for breaking any types of rules? But so I was really thankful that 30 minutes you can just send that amount of money over. It's really impressive, and obviously I'm thankful for the opportunity.
Oh no, I mean we're thankful for you being on our platform. You're such a consistently good trader, and it's rare to come across traders who are that consistent. Because the industry it's not about percentages. It's about how consistent you are. That's ultimately the biggest factor of how successful you are in trading. We would rather have a trader who only does 2% a month, but can do that 2% on a consistent basis, than a trader who can pull in 50%, but it's only at one random month with a bit of luck, and because it's hard to kind of bet on someone who's up and down, but someone who's just consistent and doing really well, and kind of, okay, we know Jacob's going to do well this month. It's Jacob, he's always done well. And even if you have a bad month for whatever reason, all right, that's just the anomaly. That's not the how you normally perform. So yeah, we're very happy to have you on board, and we hope that you keep trading with us. Even when your live account does get big enough capital, hopefully you still trade with Hola Prime here and there. Don't abandon us
Hmm.
completely. But
Yep.
yeah, it's incredible stuff, and 30 minutes. Yeah, a lot of people they don't believe when we say 1 hour payouts, because I can understand. Most prop firms are nowhere near that kind of speed, so we understand that people are skeptical. But it's good to have users like you, clients like you who can confirm, yes, we that is the norm. And yeah, occasionally there might be a payout.
Yep.
It takes a little bit longer than an hour, but that would usually be an anomaly for whatever reason. But it's not the norm. So we're really, really happy that you're having a great time. What is the future for you with Hola Prime? You have a 100K account. I mean, are you looking to get more accounts, because Jacob, if you I'm telling you now, you can copy trade, grab a few more accounts. You can,
Yeah.
you can make so much more.
Yep. It's funny you should mention that actually. I was planning to withdraw the majority of my current account balance. I was going to kind of reset, take a few weeks off, go on a vacation, then I was going to come back in, buy 5 new accounts, and I was going to copy trade them up until I could get a large enough balance to take 2 live accounts with Hola Prime.
Yeah,
So that's
absolutely.
kind of the next steps for me.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you're doing it on a 100K account, 100K is great capital, but
Hmm.
yeah, you could do so much more, man. I
Yep.
mean, yeah. So absolutely, take that vacation, enjoy yourself. Where were you thinking of going?
I was considering Cancun, Mexico, or
Oof.
Switzerland. Very different options, but
Yeah,
both I've been interested to see.
absolutely. I can vouch for either of them. They're both very, very beautiful places. But yeah, no, absolutely. Take a vacation, relax, unwind, and that's the beauty about trading. You see these memes, well, not memes, but you see these posts on the internet, especially on social media, of a guy on a laptop on a beach, and it's just not real. When you take a vacation or holiday, you want to relax. You don't want to be working. So,
Yeah.
and it's good to kind of reset, because burnout in this industry is a real thing. Staring at charts over and over again is a real thing, and yeah, you're much more efficient and better. I know once I've had a week or two break, when I'm back on the charts, my P&L's always generally better than before I went on the holiday. So
Yeah.
good stuff. Jacob, enjoy your holiday. Come back stronger than ever. Get those multiple accounts, and hopefully we can speak again very soon when you have $100,000 payout. Who knows? Breaking records. That would be incredible. I'd love to have you back on and have an update. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Awesome. Well, Jacob, thank you so much again for coming on. Have a great rest of your day. I know it's quite early where you are, so I do appreciate you coming on at
Mhm.
that time and speaking with me. But yeah, thank you again for sharing, for being so open, sharing your strategy, your payout, every bit was so transparent, which is really nice to see, and just being an all round great guy to talk to. Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks for meeting with me.
Thank you, Jacob. And to all the viewers, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this video, go ahead, leave a thumbs up, share, subscribe, turn on channel notifications, join our Discord, and more importantly, make sure you tune in to Hola Prime TV every Monday to Friday, every trading day. Myself and our trading coaches break down the live markets, take live trades, and basically we do Forex, we do futures, we do crypto, we do it all. We do stocks, so it's well worth tuning in because it really is an awesome show. But apart from that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care.
Hola Prime, trade with transparency.